Morning. So I test drove the car again the other day. By the way, the carburetor runs great, but I ran into a small leak underneath it. And this morning we're going to trace it and see if we can't find what the problem is. I think it should be fairly obvious, but the solution's not going to be. Of course not. Why would it? Here's the beginning of our trail. Yeah, does that look reddish to you? That looks pinkish reddish to me. Yeah, that's ATF all right. Uh-huh. Yep. That's regular oil, but that's ATF, that's antifreeze. That's ATF. See how it's pinkish? Yeah, that's it. Now, let's look at the bottom of the car and see if we can figure out where it came from. It did give me a nice anti-corrosion coating all the way back. Yeah. Uh-huh, yeah. Oh, definitely leaking there. Oh, yeah, there's a drip. Not the source, though. Oh, I don't think these exhaust pipes are the source of it, but they sure do have a coating. Makes for a nice smoke screen. And if we go up here, nope, gone. So it's somewhere around this area. And I'll give you a hint. This is not quite where it's supposed to be, nor is it supposed to be quick release. Yeah. Vacuum modulator, not even bolted in. And upon further inspection, that right there is supposed to be the mounting ear for the bolt that holds in the vacuum modulator, and that's broken off. There's no bracket, there's no nothing. So why this didn't pop out when I test drove it before and drove it back and forth to work 45 minutes one way, not a clue. But it popped out now, and we're going to figure out how to remount that and make a bracket. All right, well, unexpected, but there we go. Project cars at their finest. Well, first thing we gotta do is we'll just remove this old one. Since it's no longer really attached by anything but a vacuum hose, it's pretty easy. Vacuum modulator, you get vacuum from the engine here, and it modulates. It has something to do with your shift points and your shift firmness. I forget exactly what, but it's important. You gotta have it. Especially, it stops fluid. Right here, there's an O-ring, and that O-ring only works if this is in the transmission. When this gets popped completely out because there's no bracket, all the O-rings in the world are not going to help. Let's get a better look here at what's going on. Right here is where the vacuum modulator actually slips in. Here's the vacuum hose. This is my mounting tab where there should be a hole, but it's actually broke off. I think it was just luck that vacuum modulator stayed in there, and the fact that this is a steel line, so it sort of holds it in place a little bit. I think there's enough of an ear here that we can drill and tap what's left and just make our own new bolt hole, and that's probably what we're going to do. So here's the original vacuum modulator we took off. As big as it is and as corroded as it is and fluid leaky outy as it is, I'm going to go ahead and say that is the original. The replacement is obviously much smaller. The box is not even as big as the original part. But it'll do the same job. It's technology, people. What do we got? Paperwork. Adjustable vacuum modulator can be adjusted. Why, thank you. Yes, we know that. It can be adjusted. There is a small slotted valve or fitting in the end of this that you can adjust to change the firmness and shift points by maybe a few hundred RPMs. Well, you can't change the firmness by a few hundred RPMs. You can change the shift points by a few hundred RPMs, and it will also change the firmness of the shifts. It comes with a piece of hose. We'll probably replace it. We'll cut it down to the size we need. And if nothing else, look at the room I'm going to have. That's going to be great. And the bracket should hold it right here. See where it's slotted? Right here, there should be like an 1/8" piece of sheet metal, basically, is a bracket that holds that in place, like forks. And I don't have that. It's missing, hasn't been there for a while. I really don't know what was holding that in other than the O-ring. But, it is what it is. So, This is what we're going to put in, but first we need to drill out a hole and tap it and then make our own little bracket so this won't happen to us again. All right, got my drill bits out. I'm going to start small and work my way up. I only need like maybe quarter 20 probably at most. But I also don't want to drill too deep into that housing. We are already kind of going inboard of where the original ear was, and I'm sure I've got plenty of room, but I don't really need to go that far to hold this in place. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some masking tape and I'm taping off a depth I want to work at. And that's all we're going to do. That's probably 1/2 inch 9/16. That should be plenty, far enough. And this drill ought to give us the most amount of room to work with. Battery sort of charged. I think I can just get enough room. Yes, this should be fine. Perfect. It did not go through, so we're not going to have a leak there. All we have to do is drill that a little bit bigger, and then we'll tap it. This is most likely quarter 20. I'm close-ish. So, oh yeah, we're ready to cut some threads. All right, I know the size of this wooden case is ridiculous, but I got it at an antique store for like 30 bucks. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers when you get the largest tap and die set in the world. Fancy. And this came with a ton of quarter 20 taps. Bunch of extras. There's one right there. And we'll get to cutting. Should be good. Yeah, no, I'm going to need to use a 1/4 inch ratchet because this doesn't have enough room. Couldn't find my 1/4 inch ratchet, so I've got a 3/8 and an adapter. It should still work just fine. I know it's hard to see, but here's our new hole that I've tapped to quarter 20. So now I just have to make a bracket, and then we'll be able to put the vacuum modulator back in, and I'll clean all this up too. And it's right at about that point that my microphone died. I finished fixing the car, made a bracket, cleaned everything up, sprayed everything off, got the ATF off, backed it out, let it run, get the smoke off all the exhaust, checked for leaks, and 0 audio. I was 2 quarts low on transmission fluid, I can tell you that much. Here's the bracket that I did make. I made 2 of them. This is just some 1/8 inch stock that I had off of an old piece of square tube. And basically this just slips over here like that and bolts into place with the hole that we tapped. So I do have a spare in case that happens again, or if for some reason I get another car and that's missing, which I highly doubt. But that's it. It's fixed. Sorry about the audio problems, although you just would have listened to me drone on about the repair that I was making and the process, which really was completely irrelevant. You saw what happened. No bracket, no hole, drill hole, make bracket, new part. It's done. No more leaks. So now I'm going to go drive it and see if I've got the timing and everything right on it. I hope so, and well, maybe nothing else will explode. Can't guarantee it, but that's the plan anyways. All right, well, despite the audio problems, I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.